Welcome everybody to the next Star Trek Online gameplay guide video here on my YouTube channel. As always, I am playing this on the Xbox Series X, doing the Xbox console port. Been exploring this game a little bit here in 2023 after not having played it in many years, since I think around the time it originally came out or a couple years afterwards on the PC. I played it for a few months when I was doing R&D for a game I was working on, and then just moved on to other things. But I've circled back around in 2023 because I've been having a lot of fun going back and playing like Star Trek and Star Wars and science fiction stuff, getting into Starfighter. So I'm on a little bit of a sci-fi run lately. So I actually have been coming in here and I've been working on another character. But one of the things that fascinated me when I logged in this time around to make a new character was the fact that they have a whole range of options that I don't remember from when the game first launched. Specifically, all these different factions and stories and everything, which allow you to have a completely unique starting tutorial series, which they kind of vary in length for the different factions and stuff, but it's a great way to just get you into the game. And in terms of first impressions go, as far as first impressions go, I find these to be incredibly interactive, and they really do set you up to get the most out of your Star Trek experience and help get you into the game. Like, this is honestly, these are some of the best intro quest lines I've seen for an older MMO. They've really come back and put some effort into this to help the new player experience. Really cool. Anyway, let's walk through this morning. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go up here to New Character, and you can click. Now here's where things get really interesting, because you start off being able to choose, say, Starfleet. And off on the right hand side, you'll notice the explanation of what version of Starfleet you're going to be playing through. Also the timeline. This is very important because this is going to dictate what types of ships you have access to, the faction and timeline. So for example, this version of Starfleet is the Exploratory, Scientific, Diplomatic, and Defensive Agency of the United Federation of Planets, started in 2161, etc., etc. A Starfleet Command is headquartered in the Sol System and the planet Earth. It says, start your journey as a new cadet of the class of 2409 during an uncertain time as enemies new and old threaten the Federation across the galaxy. Now, as I remember, this was the original, like, good guy kind of storyline, you know, the Starfleet storyline when the game first launched. And after that, you get the Klingon Defense Force, which was also the other side of the fence, I believe around the same, it's set in the same timeline. Klingon Defense Force serves as the primary military force of the Klingon Empire, headquartered on the planet Konos, and serve the Klingon Empire with honor and glory to you and your house. Very straightforward. But then we get into fun stuff like, oh, you're a Deep Space Nine fan? Well, guess what? Haha, you can play through as a member of the Dominion. So it says here, formed by the elusive founders in the Gamma Quadrant, the Dominion is a tightly knit association of many species. The shape-shifting founders come and go as they please, with their homeworld carefully hidden from the star charts and located somewhere deep in the Gamma Quadrant, while their cunning Vorta act as administrators in their absence. As a genetically engineered Jem'Hadar soldier, you will fight outside threats and keep watch over member worlds of the Dominion. Then we can go back to the original series, and some people would argue that this has some of the best, well, let's say the most vast array of voice acting cast, because they got people from all throughout TOS. And you start your journey as a new officer in the year 2070, facing a crisis that spans across time and space. But you can also choose the Romulan Republic. It says your story begins as a survivor of the Hobus supernova on a remote colony in the outer rim of the former Empire. And then the one that I've chosen to play through recently, mostly because I'm in the middle of watching Star Trek Discovery, as well as Picard and all the new stuff that's coming out, Strange New Worlds. And so I like the idea of starting a character, and this is what my first impressions video is about, and I'm doing my tutorial series on, is the Discovery Starfleet series of quest lines. So this begins your journey as a new cadet of the class of 2256, less than 1 month after the terrible battle at the Binary Stars. So I'll run through this character creation real quick, just to show you what this looks like, because these are all different storylines. And like I said, the big thing is between here and the other ones is you get a unique storyline, unique faction, and a unique access to unique ships. And one can argue that Starfleet has the most array of ships. Each one of these has different ships available to them, but in any case, that's kind of an overview. So let's just go ahead and create our Discovery Starfleet character. And once from here, you kind of get into the same for each different faction story. The character creation process from here is fairly straightforward. You can choose your gender, change between male and female. You can choose to be a human, in this case, a Vulcan, or an alien, but you get to create your own species, which is kind of interesting. But I always just go with human because it's easy. Human or Vulcan. Go from here. You could pick Starfleet Engineering Officer, Science Officer, Tactical Officer. I had a brain thingy here. I want to check something because I don't remember if you get more options. Oh yeah. So if you go to the Starfleet of now, right? So this is the Starfleet at the time of discovery. So it's humans and Vulcans or an alien. You go to Starfleet in the modern era as they have. Oh, you have a whole lot more options in terms of choosing your species. You can be human, Andorian, Bajoran, Benzite, Betazoid, Bolian, Ferengi, Pakled, Regalian, Saurian, Tellurite, Trill, Vulcan, or you can create your own alien. So if you want the most out of Star Trek and you want access to like all of the different species that you've come to know and love in the Star Trek universe over time, you would want to go with the default Starfleet option, which set in the world 2409, because you get the most options. But anyway, let's go back to Discovery Starfleet. And we'll go with human. Then you pick your career. You either can be an engineering officer, and mostly this is just going to change kind of the flavor of your... It's kind of like the class of your characters, essentially. But I have found, over playing this game on the PC and getting back into it the other day, this doesn't impact you too much beyond kind of what gear you have access to and whether or not you're going to be a frontlines character like a tactical officer, or you're going to be doing buffs or heals. And this basically just affects your planetary missions as well as what abilities you have access to for commanding your ship. So it's your class essentially, but they're all equally good. It's just kind of the flavor of what you think you're going to want to do. I chose a science officer from a main character, but let's just do like a tactical officer for this one. Go ahead and get that selected. From here, you go through your presets, for your character. You can choose all these different hair options. You can go into the coloring of your character. You can get into advanced if you want to add like a beard and stuff like that. Just click on this. We go down here. These are all kind of standard. I think it's mouth accessory is what they have beard under. It was a weird place to put it. Yeah. Epic beard. We could do a full long beard. Something like that. And then you can also customize your uniform a little bit with colors and actually change it based on you want to start off as a... hang on. No! Go back! I misclicked, everybody. So we can choose sort of a base looking uniform. We can also get into the advanced and say, do I want a captain? Do I want admiral? All of these different things. But we just go to presets. Go back to that. Yeah, I didn't save it right. There we go. Alright, let me just continue. Enter a name. Pick a random name. You can also name your ship. Put your former full name. And then click engage. And from here, you're going to launch into the actual tutorial for whatever faction or story you have chosen. Now from there, you're going to get a unique storyline that's catered to your faction story. Eventually, those all kind of wind up putting you sort of into the same space, but you can get different mileage out of each one of those depending on what you're going to be playing. And from there, you'll go through the storyline arcs and things of that nature. But I just kind of wanted to walk you through the character creation process here on the Xbox Series X for the Xbox port. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon down at the bottom so you can continue to get updates from me as I play Star Trek Online and other RPGs, MMORPGs, shooters, everything, you name it. I play it all. I also do books and movies and TV shows and film reviews, tabletop, and all sorts of other fun stuff here on the channel. So check it all out, and hopefully you'll support the channel like all of these amazing people do because it keeps me on the air full time. You can do a super chat or a sticker on premieres and live streams, super thanks after the fact on uploads. You pick an amount or you can choose the pre-programmed amounts. Join as a member, 3 different tiers here on YouTube. We also have a Patreon page and a Discord, of course. Check out the links below, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Until then, live long and prosper.